Hey peeps, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking you through how to face a facing. This is a technique that the lovely Carol introduced me to, and I just made my So Da-Di-Da sweetheart dress out of the viscose. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of facings, but particular dresses do need them unless you want to line the entire thing, and I didn't want to do that with my sweetheart dress. So I turned the facing under and stitched it down and left it at that. And Carol suggested this method, and I love how it turned out. I used it on this dress for the first time. So let's get started. So I'm going to try something a little bit different with my facings this time. Somebody recommended this to me when I was making the sweetheart dress. So I'm going to sew my facings together without them being interfaced. Then I'm going to interface them in a particular way, which I will of course show you. So I'm going to sew my back neck facing to my front facings at the shoulder seams, matching up the notches. I've sewn my facing pieces together and I have pressed them the shoulder seams open. I've also sewn my interfacing together at the shoulder seams. Do not try and press this open, you will end up with a sticky mess stuck to your iron. So we're going to finger press these open. I've sewn this together with the right sides together, and the right side of the interfacing is the non-sticky side, so the non-rough side. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to attach these right sides together, and we're going to sew around the outer edge, which is going to be our finished edge on the inside of our garment, and I will show you what that looks like when we get there. I have my interfacing pinned to my facing fabric, right sides together. So this is the glue side here, and this is the wrong side of the fabric, and I've got it pinned around the outer edge. Now this is the edge that the pattern would like us to turn in 1/4 of an inch along long unnotched edge, press, easing in fullness, stitch close to the edge. So we're going to sew all the way around this edge at 1/4 of an inch. You should end up with something that looks like this. So the next thing that we need to do is turn it so that the wrong side's together, and then we are going to fuse the interfacing to our facing piece. Wish me luck. I really like how this has turned out. It was a little bit fiddly having to roll the interfacing to the so that the wrong sides were together to then iron it down, but not prohibitively so. It just took a little bit extra time, but I really like that clean finish on this edge. I was going to top stitch it down, but I don't even need to do that. I think it looks really nice, and this is a nice finish for lighter weight fabrics like rayons and silks and things like that, because adding bias binding to this would add bulk, which you don't want to do. So yeah, very pleased with that. Really like that finish. So it is a little bit fiddlier than just interfacing your facing and stitching it together in the way that the pattern would recommend, but I love the finish that it gives, and it works really well for the rayons and viscoses that I like to use, because it is a finishing method that doesn't add any bulk or a tiny amount of bulk, because you have the seam allowances stacking on top of each other. My usual method of finishing off facings is bias binding, but that doesn't work as well for rayons because they are a much lighter fabric. I usually use bias binding for cotton lawns and quilting cottons, things like that. I love this method. I will be using it going forward, and I hope you guys use it as well. Let me know in the comments down below if you do. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!